doctor. You are knowledgeable of the science of medicine, but there is also the art, the skill of execution of your knowledge. The greater your creativity in exercising that knowledge, then you become a skilled artist at your craft. So you're not only involved in the science of medicine, you are involved in the art of healing. Now, this world, however, is a world that has been more physical than spiritual, and it has not yet learned how to link the spiritual with the physical. So as you become a scientist and skilled at healing the physical, what is the standard by which you measure the health of the person spiritually, morally, and mentally? Now, you know the criterion for the physical body, but what is the criterion for the spiritual, the mental? That is not taught. But the
Good evening, everyone. In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful, I welcome you all to the How to Save Lives broadcast on the CTG Broadcast Network. Today, we're going to be discussing the ImmunoBoost-100 and its effectiveness or efficacy against immune diseases. We have our guest, Mr. Victor Muhammad, who has been a guest on our program several times before. But what he brings and offers continues to become more and more important for us to highlight. So let me get started with reading his abridged bio. His bio is quite extensive. His full bio is about 3 pages, I believe. So Mr. Victor Muhammad is a biomedical and agricultural research scientist with 38 years of experience and expertise in the creation, development, and management of laboratory and research programs. He has developed a landmark immunotherapy product, which has caused the notable serodeconversion of an HIV patient publicly announced at the 1995 Million Man March. He has worked for various prestigious university research departments, such as Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine, Howard University School of Medicine, and Florida A&M, as well as the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the USDA, and the National Institutes of Health. He is the CEO of LSOW Life Sciences of Washington, Maida Farms, and the VM Group. Please welcome our special guest evening, Mr. Victor Muhammad. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing well, Dr. Muhammad, and thank you for having me on your program.
Yes, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation. This topic are alternatives to chemical drugs, such as ImmunoBoost-100, as effective against immune diseases. Let's go into that a little bit. But before we delve into that, could you please give us a little history about ImmunoBoost 100. You've been a guest on our platform several times, but for those who may not have heard you or have seen you on this platform, as well as the Nature's V platform and a few others, could you please give us like a brief history of how and why you developed ImmunoBoost 100?
Sure. In 1994, November 1994, I was working as a researcher at Howard University School of Medicine and Cancer Center. And in the early 90s, I had worked with a protein in an experimental uh, setting at the National Institutes of Health. I, with some of the other scientists, had played around with interferon alpha as a therapy, but they could not get it to work. And I say they because it wasn't my project, and I was just working in a support capacity, and they could not get it to work. So basically, they threw the idea in the trash. Then in 1994, about 3 years later, I was working at Howard University, and I received a phone call from Dr. Abdul Alim Muhammad, and he had been treating HIV and AIDS patients at his clinic in Northeast Washington, D.C., with an interferon alpha product that he had gotten from Nairobi, Kenya, and Japan, and I think even Australia. But the Food and Drug Administration confiscated his supply as it entered the U.S. at Dulles Airport. And the patients that he had been treating at the clinic, they were becoming sicker, and I think some of them even expired. So I think it was around mid November 1994. He called me and said, brother, the FDA has confiscated my supply of interferon. My patients are suffering. I need help. Is there anything you can do? So I told him, I said, well, brother, I don't know. Let me check and I'll get back with you. I ran to my immunology textbooks from graduate school, and I read up on, well, that's not correct. I researched interferon alpha because I remembered the effect that the literature said that it had on viral infections. So I saw, and then I went and found the concentration at which the body normally produces interferon and releases it in response to a viral infection. So I did the mathematics to extrapolate on what what that would be in international units, and I put that in a bottle with some other substances, some buffers, and I took it to the clinic and I advised Dr. Muhammad on how to apply it. That he should have the patients administer the product intranasally. He did that, and 2 3 days later he called me, and I could hear the people in the background in the clinic. There was a lot of noise, and you could hear that people were happy. So he said, "Brother, it worked. It worked. The patients are responding. They're getting up. Their appetites have returned, and so forth and so on." So I heard so much clamor in the background that I went to the parking garage, jumped in my car, and drove over to the clinic. Howard University's hospital and med school, they are in Northwest DC, and the clinic was in Northeast DC. So I drove a few miles to reach them. And when I got there, when I arrived, sure enough, The patients were mobile. They were moving around. Some of them, their T cells had risen. They had regained their appetite and so forth and so on. So this was November 1994. And by March 1995, I received a phone call from the clinic informing me that Demetrius, he's now Demetrius Muhammad, but at that time his name was Demetrius X Haskins, and he had serial deconverted, which means he had gone from being HIV positive to HIV negative by taking the product that I produced. That was the first one. Then it was a sister named, wow, what was her name? Out of Baltimore. Um, anyway, she was second.
Francine.
Yeah, Sister Francine. She was second, and the little girl Precious, I think, was third. And
Yes.
by August 2004, August 2002, 8 people taking my product had serial deconverted, and that's a brief history of it.
That was very quick, 2 to 3 days. They
Yeah,
started to rebound.
yes,
That
yeah, two
that
to three
was
days.
that's remarkable. Okay, well, I'd like to show those who are with us today. I'd like to show how I have been using the product. Of course, I was around uh, in those days with Dr. Lee and working at the Abundant Life Clinic when he would travel with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on the World Friendship Tours. I would go and see his patients for him at the clinic. And I also saw the, I would say it was nothing short of miraculous because you're right. The appetites were very poor. They were, had the skin outbreak of HIV, lots of weight loss. And matter of fact, why don't you tell us what are the two major side effects, which we usually link side effects with something negative, but what are the two side effects that have been uh, detected using or affiliated with using Immune Boost 100?
There are 4 of them.
Oh,
They are increase in appetite, increase in T cell level, decrease in viral load, and in male patients, an increase in libido.
wonderful. Okay, wonderful. So those four, uh, as you call side effects, they are definitely very positive side effects of taking Immune Boost 100, and they are welcomed side effects when you have a patient that's ill with HIV.
Mhm.
Okay, I'd like to show, let me put this on the screen. I'd like to show, let's see if we can blow this up. Wait, I'm sorry, hold on. Let's see if we can blow this up. I'd like to show you, probably can't see. Let me see. Okay. So on the screen, I am showing the benefits and the uses for natural immunotherapy supplements. Okay. So as you see, the uses I have here for patients that I have personally seen. These are patients I have personally seen. We have rheumatoid arthritis, systemic lupus erythematosus, chronic headaches, uncontrolled hypertension, benign prostatic hypertrophy. That's just the enlargement of the prostate. Adenocarcinoma of the prostate. That's prostate cancer. Type 1 and type 2 diabetes mellitus. Chronic renal disease, end-stage renal disease requiring hemodialysis, blindness due to glaucoma, Bell's palsy, which is a paralysis of the facial nerve, joint pain, which is which is osteoarthritis. And also, I hope I put here rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune condition. I may have missed that. I'll look further down. Muscle wasting. When people have chronic illnesses, or if they have cancer or HIV, you get considerable muscle wasting. Congestive heart failure, coronary artery disease, chronic low back pain, painful varicose veins, multiple sclerosis, multiple myeloma, deep venous thrombosis, which is the clots in your legs or arms, obstructive sleep apnea, severe environmental allergies, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, which is ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, herpes simplex 1 and 2, preventive maintenance. People just want to keep their immune systems up, keep their immune systems functioning at its optimal level. Enhanced immunity for COVID-19. There were people that took the IB-100. They were taking it every day as a preventive measure for COVID-19, or should I say, just to allow it not to wipe out the immune system totally. There were people, of course, who took IB-100 or ImmunoBoost-100 for COVID infection itself. And I put mild respiratory symptoms. Well, actually, there were several patients that were close to going to the emergency room. They had pretty severe respiratory, I put mild to severe, right? Mild to severe respiratory symptoms. I had one patient I was really concerned about. He absolutely did not want to go to the emergency room because at that time, emergency rooms were, they were taboo. They were turning patients back around. They were, then some they would put on the ventilators, and, they would intubate them and never come off. So this patient just refused to go. So I had to treat, well, I didn't have to, but I said I would help him. He was quite sick, and he survived and still alive today. So IB-100 was one of the key foundational therapies that I used. There are patients that had colectomy with ileostomy. They have this, they have part of their intestine removed and had, as people know, that colostomy bag. Colon cancer with hemicolectomy or partial colon removal and abscess formation. Atrial fibrillation, menometrorrhalgia, which is to have a heavy menstrual flow and prolonged menstrual flow. So heavy and prolonged. Transaminitis, which is marked elevated increase in the liver enzymes. Cystic acne. MRSA, that's a resistant bacteria, a resistant Staph aureus bacteria, which is a major infection. So I've used both products, the IB-100 and IB-19, and we'll have Mr. Victor Muhammad go into his other products shortly. Multiple sclerosis, acute myeloid leukemia, endometrial adenocarcinoma, metastatic endometrial carcinoma that spread to other areas, stage 2 adenocarcinoma of the lung, so it's lung cancer, infiltrating ductal carcinoma of the breast, multiple myeloma. I think I put that twice. No, I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. And neuroendocrine tumor of the small intestine. It's a rare tumor of the small intestine. They also call it a carcinoid. So I'll take this off. So could you please go into a little bit more into your product line, Mr. Muhammad?
Sure.
Mhm. Let me put this on stage. Okay.
Okay. We have, I believe, about 9 products now. We have the ImmunoBoost 100, which is the original one produced in 1994. We also have ImmunoBoost 19, which was developed for bacterial infections and for treating, not treating, and for helping with the recovery of different cancers. Next, we have the Okoi Uhi 7, OU7. The OU7 is a preparation where I combine the ImmunoBoost 100 and the ImmunoBoost 19 together at about 50% the concentration of the original product. This was developed because maybe 40, 35, 40 years ago, we understood in the scientific community before the before the secular world accepted it that most cancers come from viral infections. We knew that 35, 36, 37 years ago. And so if I made a product that contained an antiviral and anti-cancer uh, molecules in one bottle, then I believe that it would be more effective at helping to arrest the progression of cancer in patients, in people. I'm not a clinician, so I don't have patients, but in people. So people who have come to us over the last 5 years who have been diagnosed by their primary care physician or their oncologist with some form of cancer, this product has been very beneficial to them in arresting the cancer, and basically it has, according to their oncologist, not me, but according to their oncologist, when they returned after taking these supplements, they could not find the cancer any longer. The next product is the ImmunoBoost 30. The ImmunoBoost 30 is a product that was developed for prophylactic purposes. What I intend by that is each year people get colds and flu, but if they would start taking this product, the ImmunoBoost 30, around August, July, August, then by the time cold and flu season begins, late
Mhm.
October, early November, this time of year, their immune system should have been boosted by taking this product. And it's called ImmunoBoost 30 because it's 30% the concentration of the ImmunoBoost 100. Then there's the Immune Boost um, Immuno IRB, uh, Immune System Reboot, ISR, Immune System Reboot.
Yes.
And what the immune system reboot is, the average person on the earth today, your immune system is compromised whether you know it or not. There's no way that you can eat the foods that are produced agriculturally in this country and around the world without your immune system being compromised. The fact that you gave your children or you were vaccinated when you were a baby, I believe that that's one of the main ways that your immune system is compromised through vaccines and
Mhm.
vaccinations.
Right.
Uh, and so, what the immune system reboot was formulated to do is that you take it as a preventive product. And what it does, if you follow the guidelines that we offer you, it will help your immune system to recover from the damage that's been done to it. Then we have the pit bull lightning. In the last 35 years, I've received at least 2 billion phone calls and inquiries from men who are suffering with ED issues, erectile dysfunction. And erectile dysfunction has several causes at its core. There is no one cause, so there's no way you can take one product and repair it. And the products that are being sold on the market do not solve the problem. Ask the men who take Viagra and Cialis. They do not solve the problem. They only give you a mechanical, temporary fix, but it doesn't solve the problem. But if you contact us, follow the guidelines we offer you with the Pitbull Lightning, we believe that we can help you resolve the issues that are causing your erectile dysfunction. And the other one is Sahara Nights. Sahara Nights was developed because, again, people have been contacting me asking for something to help them sleep. Well, we have a formulation that does just that. It's not a drug. It's not going to drug you. It's not something that's going to tranquilize you like most sleep aids do. They don't they don't help you sleep. They actually tranquilize you. And
Mhm.
um, and so this was developed for that. I have two other products that I've taken through the R&D process, but they haven't been placed on the market yet. So at another time, I'll introduce those. But those are the ones we have at this point,
Oh,
Dr.
okay.
Mohammed.
Wonderful. So you have two more products coming.
Yes.
Okay. That's wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to post a couple of the salutations from our audience. We have George Allen, and he's just giving the greetings, and he wants to know how can the products be purchased. Well, you can contact him direct. Well, I'll let you know. I'll let you give that answer.
You can contact me at 478-332-7243.
I'm putting it in the chat. 7478-332.
7243.
Okay, I'm putting that in the chat for people to contact you. All right, so there is his contact information. Please call him to purchase your products. Please put questions in the chat so that Mr. Muhammad can answer them regarding his products. We want people to know the efficacy or the efficiency of the products. And as he said, really, you should have started taking at least the IB30, but now you probably need IB100, the full strength product, since we're already in cold and flu season. So that's the one you should be trying to purchase now. Okay, so we have another question. Let's see. Okay. We're just giving Deborah Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam, ma'am. And then we have another one, Mr. Williamson. He says, Minister Dimitri. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is not Minister Dimitri in Memphis. We are broadcasting on the researchminister.com. He is in the network, the network of Closing the Gap. And so with that, we do broadcast all of the platforms will broadcast through research.com. And then I'll take this opportunity to make a quick station break to donate to Closing the Gap via PayPal, jkingdom1 at AOL.com, or Cash App at $CTG Broadcast, or Zelle at Closing the Gap Broadcast at Gmail. There's a new website. It's ctgbnetwork.com. So it's ctgbnetwork.com. Okay. All right. So please post your questions for Mr. Muhammad or myself regarding the product, as I have used the product again back in the early 90s, well, the mid to late 90s to actually the early 2000s. And then again, starting back up in 2019. And that's where I compiled the diagnoses, the conditions that I had recommended the use of Immune Boost 100, Immune Boost 19, Immune Boost 30, as well as OU7 for my cancer patients. Okay, so Mr. Muhammad, while we're waiting for questions, let's see if we have a new one. Okay, so here's a question for you. ASA, Assalamu alaikum. Can these products be taken with statins and eventual help weaning a person off the statin?
Yes, the products can be taken with anything, because the one thing that you have to understand about these products is that these products are proteins that and amino acids that are automatically produced by the body. The only reason we give them to you is because your body has a reduction in the a reduction in the production of uh, these products in your body, or your body just has stopped producing them. And this is why you get viral infections and bacterial infections, because your immune system is compromised and your immune system can't do what it's supposed to do. So if your nose was running and I took some of that from your nose and ran an assay on it, you would find these products in the drip that came from your nose while when you had a cold or flu. So they're not foreign to your body. It's just that your immune system has been compromised, and your body either doesn't produce them or doesn't produce enough of them.
Okay, thank you. And I hope that answered your question. Green light auto brokers, uh, you can take them with your statins. And yes, once the body gets conditioned, you can, under the supervision of an experienced provider, healthcare provider, you can be weaned off the statin. Absolutely. Do we have any more questions for Mr. Muhammad?
While we're waiting, Dr. Muhammad, I'd like to make
Sure,
a clarification statement.
sure.
During during the height of the COVID-19 um, so-called pandemic, there was a there was a report made in error by some individuals, and it was stated that the main product, especially in the ImmunoBoost 100 and ImmunoBoost 30, causes a cytokine storm in
Hmm.
people when they take the product. That was stated, and it was stated by someone who people trusted. And it caused a misinformation storm to go out to the people. Well, the product, the molecules that are in the ImmunoBoost 100 is supposed to cause a cytokine storm. That's what it's supposed to do. And the only reason a person would say something like that, as though that's a bad thing, is because they themselves didn't understand what they were talking about. Going to med school is not the same thing as going to be a researcher, a scientist. It's not. So you don't have the understanding that a scientist has. You're given a piece of the information, just enough for you to understand it when you read the PDF, but you're not given a full understanding. So causing a cytokine storm is not a bad thing. That's what the amino acids in the uh, product is supposed to do. It causes a cytokine storm because when a virus or a bacteria, but specifically a virus, enters the body of an animal, it triggers the T cells and NK cells to start releasing and producing these proteins, the same ones that are in the ImmunoBoost 100. And when they start to be released, they signal to the rest of the cells in the body to start producing other similar molecules to fight off bacteria, to fight off protozoa, to fight off fungus, and to cause the immune system to just to adjust and to get ready to go to war. So the cytokine storm that this person spoke about, they spoke of it in a negative connotation. And context is critical when you're speaking in a public environment. And this is why you have to be careful what you say when you're in a public environment. You
Mhm.
can't just say something out of emotion or because you're excited. Every word that you say must be measured before you permit it to leave your mouth, because you can do damage and harm, and it can't be resolved, and you can't take it back, because once a bullet is fired, then the damage is already done. You can't call the bullet back. So be careful, Dr. Muhammad. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for clarifying that, because that is very important. It's important to clarify that so that not only do the viewers understand it, but also medical providers can understand it. I have another follow up question from Greenlight Auto Brokers. Which of these products is best for overall health? And can you take the other products together?
If I were to recommend a product for overall health for a person who has not been diagnosed by their primary care physician with a disease or some kind of ailment, it would be the ImmunoBoost 30, because of the molecules that are in it. It's going to do more things in the body than one of the others will do. So I would say the ImmunoBoost 30. And can you take the other products together? Yes, you can, but you should only do a maximum of two at a time, because you only have two nostrils, and you have to have your nostrils. Each product will go into one of your nostrils. So since you only have two nostrils, you can only take two of them at a time.
Thank you. And after you made the statement about the cytokine storm, this Mr. Kevin Stevenson, Stevenson said, "Wise words."
Hmm.
Yeah, it's we must be careful, especially as healthcare providers, scientists, anyone who is charged with being knowledgeable about a particular thing. You must be careful of what you say. And if you make a mistake, it's okay. We make mistakes, but come back in the public and correct your mistake. I've made them. I'm sure Mr. Muhammad has made them. But the key is to and correct your mistake in the public, because it was made in the public. And that is better for everyone around. And it keeps us honest and it keeps us humble. And we need to recognize if we made a mistake to correct it. Just simply correct it. Any other questions? Please post your questions. We're waiting for more questions for Mr. Muhammad this evening. We're at the last 15-minute mark of the program, but I really wanted to use this opportunity for such a product line because it's so useful. And if you have conditions, you or a family member have some sort of chronic condition, and you're looking for natural ways to manage those chronic conditions, to get to the root of it, to help change the body at its basic unit, at its basic functioning, at its basic cellular level, instead of just putting a band-aid on something. Yes, sir.
While we are awaiting more questions, there's something that uh, I have had pressing for some time, and I want to say it to your listening audience that the human being is only going to continue to further decline in their health. The reason I can say that with affirmation is because the very food you eat is killing you. It's making you sick. The food that you eat today is almost 100% genetically modified, almost 100% of it. And that in and of itself is not a bad thing. I'm not suggesting, and I don't want you to take my words that I'm saying all GMOs are bad, because that's not true. The African American himself is a GMO, if we want to be honest. So all GMOs are not bad, but the way the food is grown, is produced, I don't care where you're getting it. The fancy supermarkets, the exclusive supermarkets, just because you're paying $20 or more per pound for a ribeye doesn't mean that it's better. You can go to the fancy supermarkets that we like to brag that we go to, but the food is not better. I don't care what kind of label is on it, it's not better. The same things that you are paying a lot of money for, I did the research and the I did the policy on it back in 1989 and 1990 when I worked as an analyst with USDA Home Office in Washington D.C. So all the stuff that you think is good because it's got a certain label on it, it's not. It's just a label.
Mhm.
So uh, the number of people who are obese in this country, the number of people who have been diagnosed with cancer just in the last 12 months, the numbers that of people who are now calling me and you, Dr. Muhammad, and others, has escalated, and
Yes.
it's only going to continue to escalate. And until a handle is gotten on the production of the food, then
Hmm.
it's only going to continue to escalate.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
that's what I wanted
Absolutely.
to say.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. We have been taught for quite some time, for decades, to grow our own food,
Yeah,
get our mouths out of the devil's kitchen.
right.
Um, and what we mean by that is what he's talking about, the food that we think is superior because it's at these exclusive markets that he says. No, it's not superior just because it comes from that place. We have to make sure that we're monitoring what's being grown and put in our mouths. And we have recalls. There have been an uptick in recalls on food. Why is that? If there's so much quality from these large supermarkets and these large chain stores with all the organics, quote unquote, why have there been an uptick in recalls? We do have some questions here. Let's post this one. Uh, are are your products safe to use if you have kidney disease?
Yes, they are. In fact, if you go on YouTube to Nature's Bee channel, there are people who have taken the product who was diagnosed by their primary care physician with stage 4 renal failure, and they were getting ready to amputate his foot and do a kidney transplant. He contacted me. This had to be 4 years ago. He contacted me, asked if the product would work for him with his kidneys. I told him I didn't know because I had never had anyone ask about renal conditions with one of the products. Well, he wanted to try it. We sent it to him. He went to his nephrologist, and the nephrologist said that whatever you did, it, he thought it was some of the medication he was giving him, but he stopped taking the medication. Well, as a matter of fact, he never took any of the medication. But the nephrologist thought it was the medication that he was given that the kidneys were functioning. He did not need the transplant. It was not necessary to amputate his foot. You can go on YouTube and find that video. He's telling you himself. It's not me. So yes, there is a there is a precedence where these products have worked with people who have renal problems.
Well, I'll go a step further. Mr. Allen, I have had several patients that were at the brink of dialysis. Some were actually on dialysis, and there was some recovery of kidney function. One patient in particular had been monitored conservatively for about a year or close to a year before he contacted me and learned of IB100 or Immune Boost 100 and wanted to know would it help. And I stated that I didn't know for sure, but I would use that and some other things and we can see what happened. Well, he took the product for maybe 3 months, and his nephrologist was ecstatic because his kidney function was starting to recover. Unfortunately, he continued to, he did so well. He got too excited. It was also helping with his blood sugar. And again, I was giving him a few other supplements, just support. But he had been doing so well, he started to kind of, regress on his diet. And, the rest is history. Now I think he's in discussion to have dialysis. I had a few other patients who were on dialysis and were starting to recover. And I don't know what that is, why when people start to recover and do well, they actually start to back off and the behavior changes. And I know there's some financial commitment, not nearly as much of a financial commitment as when you get sick and you're trying to regain your health. So the short answer to that, Mr. Allen, is yes. And we just gave some context of some conditions, real life case studies of people that have taken it. This is another question. How, I guess he means how many minutes apart should we take the Immune Boost 100 and the Pit Bull Lightning?
It's not necessary to space them in time. Just use different nostrils for the different products. So if you don't use the same nostril to administer the product, the time doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you. And this is Mark Muhammad. He said, Assalamu alaikum, Brother Victor. Been a long time. Do navy beans and brown rice have a shelf life?
No, as long as you keep them dry, they'll persist. Now, Brother Mark, let me give you a caveat because this is very common today. Most of the rice that's being prepared for people to eat that is supposed to be brown rice is not brown rice, it's parboiled rice. And that's one of the reasons you see so many fat people who are not supposed to be fat because the rice that they're eating is not brown rice, it's parboiled. And parboiled rice, while it is amber in color, it's not brown. So make sure be careful when you go somewhere and purchase a dinner because more than likely that's not brown rice. Even when even when you purchase it in an environment where it's supposed to be brown rice, it's not. So if you want to be assured that you're eating brown rice, you probably got to go to the supermarket, buy it yourself, and then you prepare it, or you stand in the kitchen while somebody prepare it for you, but you watch to make sure that it's brown rice. But they don't have a shelf life so long as you keep them dry.
Okay, very good. Okay, all right, Brother Mark. Okay, so we're at the last 10 minutes of the broadcast, and I'd like to, of course, open up for, oh, we do have another question. All right, here we are. Can you use IB30 with a multivitamin and fish oil and D3 and K2? So,
You can. Well, I'll answer your question. Yes, you can. I was going to give some commentary, but you didn't ask for that. So, yeah, you can. Yes, sir. You can use it, and it won't hurt uh, the it won't hurt the ability of the ImmunoBoost 30.
well, I'd like to make a comment, give a little commentary. I would suggest, because again, I've been using this product a long time and been recommending it, but I still call Mr. Muhammad and ask him some questions sometimes. But I would not take them all together because I want the IB30 to have at least a minute jump time, or take it in the right before you go to bed. 30, take about 30 minutes before you go to bed. And you really shouldn't eat or drink anything 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after taking it. So that's what I would suggest, because that's quite a bit. If you want to pop a multivitamin, the fish oil, the D3, the K2, I would say give it some time by itself before you pile on all of the others. I don't know. What do you think, Mr. Muhammad?
Well, personally, the if you are a man and you're eating a decent meal every day, then you don't need the vitamin, the fish oil, or the D3 or the K2. Your vegetables are going to give you all of those things, and they're going to give you a better source of it than whatever it is that you're taking. And I don't know the purpose of taking fish oil. What purpose does it serve? Um, I have never seen any science. I've never seen any refereed scientific data that any of these things do anything. And
Well, I'd like,
when I say refereed, in order for something to be published in a scientific journal, there has to be experts in that area that sit on that review. And those experts are going to pretty much know everything that there is about that subject. So when something is submitted for publication in a scientific journal, those experts review it. They review the data, they review the scientific uh, uh, research setup, because all those things matter. And they're able to determine whether or not what you're reporting is the truth. And if it's not the truth, then it's going to be rejected. So, and what I'm saying to you, Mr. Greenlight Auto Brokers, is I've never seen any scientific data that support anything. Uh, Multivitamins do provide some benefit for a woman who is expecting. But other than that, there's really no need that I know that a healthy man needs to take a multivitamin, let alone fish oil or those other things that you mentioned there. But you are a grown person and you have a right to do what you want, but I'm obligated under God's law to tell you the truth. If you present something to me, I'm obligated to tell you the truth, you know. So,
well, I'd just like to say, as part of that explanation, you said to me, you're in an area where I where I dwell most of the time in nutrition. And with the you said healthy. You said if you have a healthy, a healthy man, why do you need all of this? Well, most of our people, unfortunately, because of the food and the environment, they're not healthy. They have quite a few nutritional gaps. And I will forward some studies that I have seen and I've looked at that are credible regarding quality fish oil that has not been just filtered with all of the polyphenols that are naturally found in fish, especially salmon, wild caught, cold water fish. So I'll send you that. But if we're healthy and you're eating fish, wild caught or quality fish, and getting good nutrient dense vegetables, fruits, and the like, then you don't need those things. But most times, populations and our people do need them, unfortunately. I have another question. Okay. So, does Immune Boost 100 build new proteins in men like it does for women?
No, it doesn't build new proteins in anyone. That's not the purpose of it. Uh, Proteins are generated by the the nucleus of a cell being told something by messenger and transfer RNA, and nothing happens until these messenger RNAs tell the nucleus that we need a new protein. And the ImmunoBoost 100, um, it may cause the release of a protein. It does do that, but I have never seen any data which states that it causes the synthesis of new proteins for men or women.
Thank you. Okay, we getting all these questions now. Okay, so can you too please continue to do more shows like this on the subject of Immune Boost 100? Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's critical, especially now as he started out in the program stating our immune systems have really been compromised and under attack. So more people do need to hear about this, because once you lose proper immunity for too long and in a chronic state, I don't know how long we'll be around. Okay, we have another one. Oh, please, I want to hear you. Look at this one. What about sea moss? Is that a good source of nutrition?
I cannot answer that truthfully because I don't know. I know a lot of people use it as a therapy, but but for me to speak to the efficacy of it, I can't. Um, I can't. I don't know.
Well, I that is that has been this fad taking over and stating that sea moss does it helps with the thyroid conditioning. It helps to replace, give you good nutrients, give you, it's packed with micro and macro nutrients. It helps with the electrolytes, and it's so many things with sea moss. It's just unbelievable. And I can't say that I have witnessed those benefits that it's supposed to cause. It's supposed to cause these major benefits, and I haven't witnessed those benefits from people who take it and who have taken it consistently. And then I'm getting called about some deficiency or some problem, and I find you taking CMOS, and how long you been taking that? And so when I further investigate, I'm like, I don't know if you should continue taking that, because it doesn't appear that you're getting the benefits from it. Oh, I have another question for you. ASA, what is the connection between the nose and the immune system?
The nose is part of the immune system. In fact, every orifice that you have is part of the immune system. And the most of the time, viruses like the rhinovirus, which causes the common cold, and the influenza virus, which causes flu, HIV, and mostly every other virus, they enter the body through the nose or the mouth. And this is why you have the sticky mucus inside your nose and the saliva in your mouth. They're supposed to trap any foreign agent that tries to enter the nose, including pollen. This is one of the reasons you start sneezing because that's called an anti-inflammatory response, and it's you're sneezing to expel the virus, the bacteria, the fungus, the protozoa, the pollen that got in the nose, and the hair or the mucus trapped it, and now it's the the presence of that pollen or bacteria or virus is triggering the cells in the nose to release different molecules that forces you to sneeze, and that's supposed to propel out of the nose those things that have come in there to give you an infection. So the nose is part of the immune system. In fact, many of the receptors of different proteins that help you recover from diseases are also in the nose. So, and there are other things that I could say, but time doesn't permit right now. And I don't want to be careless and introduce you to something and don't give you a good understanding of it. But just because a plant contains a certain mineral or a certain nutrient, it does not automatically mean that you can digest that plant. Most plants and plant parts human beings cannot digest. Did you know that digestive physiology is a science within itself? It's a world within itself.
Mhm.
Did you know that people get PhDs in digestive physiology? That's what my PhD was in, digestive physiology. So this is why I can tell you that just because a food, just because a plant contains a mineral, a vitamin, or a nutrient, and you eat it because you heard somebody say it on a commercial on TV, or you went to the Hilton Hotel to hear this speaker and he said it or she said it, it doesn't mean it's true. Most people who speak on subjects like this have no training in science at all. None. So how would they know? You see, so me having spent Saturday nights in a laboratory at 12 o'clock on a Saturday night because I'm running an experiment. Well, this is why I can say what I do. You see, while you were driving your 1989 Honda Accord to the juke joint, to get your Hully Gully on, I was in the lab.
That's funny. I have another question. It says, what is IB30? I think you explained, and obviously this person wasn't on when you explained it.
You can go ahead, Doctor, please.
Sir, explain what
The
IB30 is. IB30 is it's a reduced um, portion of IB100. IB100 is the full strength of this immunotherapy product, and IB30 is 30. Is it 30%?
30% of the 100. The ImmunoBoost 30, thank you, Dr. Patrice. The ImmunoBoost 30 is formulated as a prophylactic, a preventive product.
Right.
You don't take this when you have an infection. You take this to build your immune system to prevent you from getting an infection. So, this was developed because about 7 years ago, we were getting phone calls for people wanting to take the ImmunoBoost 100 as a preventive product, and I couldn't agree with that. I wouldn't agree with it. Once you purchase it and you do what you want with it once you purchase it. But my advice to the people was do I wouldn't take the ImmunoBoost 100 as a preventive product. So this is why I said, maybe if I reduce the the potency of the 100 by 60% and then give 70% and give that to people as a prophylactic, then it would not do them any harm, and it should gradually build up their immune system. So that's how the ImmunoBoost 130 came about. Adela, Adela.
Yes. And so could you explain again why, obviously she wasn't on the line either. She wasn't on the program when you talked about um, IB 30 as a prophylaxis or maintenance or preventive measure versus the 100. So why wouldn't you recommend a person take the IB 100 just every day?
Well, because the body has a process called homeostasis. And homeostasis means that everything in the body is at its normal resting state. It's where it's supposed to be. So, in a normal resting body, the body does not produce nor release interferon alpha. It's not a normal thing. The only time the body releases these proteins and these amino acids is when there's an infection. So, if you don't have an infection, the body is not going to release it, so you shouldn't take an external source of it.
Thank you. Adela, you're trained now. You know the products now. So, oh, I wanted to make one last correction, Mr. Muhammad, for the IB19. The IB19, I believe you said for IB19, there is a combination of IB 100, the Immune Boost 100, and the Immune Boost, I'm sorry, for the OU7. There's a combination of IB 100 and IB 19. And so it's antiviral and antibacterial combination, right?
And anti-cancer.
And anti-cancer. Okay.
It was it
Yeah,
was
because,
developed it was developed for people who had different forms of cancer.
okay. Right. So but you have those two combined for the full anti-cancer properties. That's the point I was making.
Mhm.
You have both of those. So there's two products in one with the OU7.
Yeah.
Somebody else asked that question. So you're getting two products. Okay. Okay, I think we are actually 8 minutes over, but that's okay. The our founder, who our minister, student minister James Muhammad, he said, "Well, if you have to go over a little bit, it's okay." So I wanted to make sure that we do more, as Scorpion King did ask us to please host more of the programs on IB 100, Immune Boost 100. And maybe we can look forward to some of the, well, actually, what would your recommendation be, Mr. Muhammad, regarding your product, Immune Boost 100? What would you like to feature on our follow-up program?
I think that what we should do is speak more about the general health of the human being because
Mm-hmm.
the entire world, the entire planet is suffering because it's been under 6,000 years of misinformation and 6,000 years of the economy and money being more important than the health of the people. So the way that agriculture is produced in the West, more particularly America than anywhere else, it's harmful to the people, it's harmful to the lives, to the animals, it's harmful to the environment, it's harmful to the water. And so what and people are suffering today because of the lack of knowledge. This is the main reason people are suffering. The sheer lack of knowledge. They don't know what they're doing.
Yes.
So when you they go to the supermarket and you get these real pretty shiny apples and you think that that's healthy. And but you won't go to the cheap supermarkets. I won't name them, but you know what they are, where they have the stuff in boxes and the apples got spots on them. That's the best apple to buy, the one with the spots on it, not the one that's real big and shiny. Because you don't want to know what it took to get that apple shiny.
All kind of wax
So those
and
are the kinds of
stuff.
conversations. Those are the conversations that I recommend we have, and they need to be people who are qualified to speak on these subjects, not somebody who's popular, not someone who everybody loves, but people who are qualified to speak on these subjects.
Thank you. Absolutely. Well, as we wind down and get ready to close out the program, I do want to make sure that people know how to contact us. There is my contact information scrolling across the bottom. It is at health at its best .org. You can also contact me on Instagram at besthealth19, Facebook, Health at Its Best, or visit the website, healthathisbest.org. For Mr. Muhammad, his information I put in the chat. So, and the phone number. So I'll place it here again. Let's see. Okay, I'll put it back in the chat. It's 478 332 7243. I'll put his name first so you all know. Mr. Victor Muhammad. Please contact him to purchase your products. All right, Mr. Victor Muhammad, would you please make a final statement? Would you like to make a final statement?
Yes, I would recommend to people uh, to be careful with your cancer diagnosis. It appears that cancer diagnosis is the new fad, and it is the new money making thing that the medical industry is using to capitalize. And the last thing I would say is it's a question, and it's a rhetorical question because the intent is to make you think. Why is it that when you visit any, uh, what do you call it, when the people go to get their blood pumped for dialysis? When you go to any dialysis clinic around this country, why is it that all the people in there are black? Are black people the only people that have kidney trouble?
No.
Or is it a money or is it a money making scheme? You all better be careful and you better learn and you better think and quit arguing over who's the GOAT between Jordan and LeBron. Bron. What does that matter when you're eating food and taking medications that are killing you, being diagnosed with cancer, and the vast majority of people with cancer diagnosis do not have cancer. But by the time you realize that you never had cancer, your organs have been destroyed through chemo and radiation. That's what I'd like to leave them with, Dr. Muhammad. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for giving us the information on these landmark products. And we look forward to hosting conversations on health, real conversations on health, the hard discussions that we need to have, and we need to apply better health practices for ourselves, in our homes, in our communities. Thank everyone for joining us. We look forward to hosting Mr. Victor Muhammad again very soon. And we will we'll start back again on December 4th, which is 2 weeks, Thursday, the first Thursday in December. And we look forward to hosting you all again. Thank you very much, Mr. Victor Muhammad.
You're welcome.
And we look forward to hosting you again very soon.
Okay.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Greetings. Play this clip. Here we go. Let's see here. I want to play. All right. Well, I guess I'm trying to play our outro, and here we go.
This house is dedicated to knowledge and to the spreading of knowledge. Elijah Muhammad inspired new thought, new mind, new way of civilization among black people. But he wanted a house from which a light could be lifted up to give guidance to all who would be guided as this world begins to close down. This National Center for the re-education and retraining of the black man and woman, but for the totality of the human family of our planet. I named this mosque after the only woman that the Quran names a chapter after, the mother of Jesus, Maryam. All human beings need to be re-educated. That is the purpose of the National Center. This house is dedicated to knowledge and to the spreading of knowledge. Elijah Muhammad inspired new thought, new mind, new way of civilization among black people. But he wanted a house from which a light could be lifted up to give guidance to all who would be guided as this world begins to close down. This National Center for the re-education and retraining of the black man and woman, but for the totality of the human family of our planet. I named this mosque after the only woman that the Quran names a chapter after, the mother of Jesus, Maryam. All human beings need to be re-educated. That is the purpose of the National Center.